Hi gamers! The Nintendo Switch is 1 year old today. Congratulations! Here I have my physical game collection for the machine, 22 games in its first year, so a really solid lineup, I like it a lot. And yeah, I'm gonna be showing these games to you soon, but first let's talk a little bit about the Switch itself. I think many, myself included as a Nintendo fan, was surprised at just how well the Switch took off. Even Nintendo themselves were caught off guard. They still can't meet up with the demand in Japan. They're actually selling every single unit that they can manufacture in Japan. And so far, worldwide, they've sold like 15 million units in the first 10 months. I don't know where the tally is at now, at 12 months, but yeah, breaking records all over the place. And you know, it's just not sales records, but the game quality is off the charts as well. You know, Zelda Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey in the first year, it's just crazy. I mainly played on the TV. I treat it as a home console, you know, with the Pro Controller and all that. But it's just really handy that you can take the actual machine with the actual saves and just take it with you. Just so handy. And yeah, I don't travel all that much, but it's still a very good plus. Really easy to take the games with you, and you don't have to, you know, take a pause from your home console gaming. Just continuing on with the exact same game. Really handy. And yeah, 22 games in its first year. I think that's like a first year record for me, even topping out my Wii U collection beginnings back in its first year. And yeah, just a really solid lineup here. Let me know what games you have. You know, how many games you bought in its first year. Are you happy with the lineup? All that. Let me know in the comments. But now let's check out the games. And as is customary, alphabetical order is king. First up, 1-2 Switch. The quintessential party game on the Switch. Not as impactful as Wii Sports was for the Wii, but still a nice showcase of different ways to play on the Switch. Some bad games, but some really good ones as well. My personal favorite is the cracking of the safe. Really good use of the HD rumble. Then ARMS, another new IP on the Switch. I think Nintendo wanted to follow on the footsteps of Splatoon. You know, take an established genre like shooter, or in this case a fighting game, and just put their own twist on it. And ARMS delivers. It is a bit light on the you know, the content front, but still it's a nice fresh take on the fighting genre, and looks great, sounds great. I love the theme song that plays on the main menu, and yeah, good stuff. And ARMS, it's not as popular as Splatoon has been, but it's found its audience. Bayonetta Special Edition. This includes the physical edition of Bayonetta 2 and a download code for Bayonetta 1. And one of the many Wii U ports on the system. Which is, of course, important because the Wii U was one of Nintendo's biggest failures, and as such there are plenty of people who didn't get a chance to play all the Wii U exclusives, like Bayonetta 2 here. Doom. Nice to see a solid third-party game on a Nintendo console, and you know, rated 18 as well. So not your typical audience here, or the, you know, the what people like to say that is the typical Nintendo audience. But Doom is it's a really good port. Of course, you're missing the 60 frames per second, but still it looks decent enough for essentially on a console that's handheld. You know, even though I played on the TV, it's still just a tiny little thing, a handheld essentially. So that's basically the thing that you have to remember when you're comparing ports to other versions. Dragon Quest Builders, really addicting game. It's really well suited to a console like the Switch that you can take with you and just keep on playing. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Like Doom, this is from Bethesda as well, and they're bringing Wolfenstein 2 later on to the Switch as well, so Bethesda is bringing the mature ports here to the Switch. Of course, I don't think there is a gamer that hasn't experienced Skyrim or had a machine that couldn't play Skyrim. You know, everybody had a PS3, Xbox 360, or PS4, Xbox One, and now the Switch. So you definitely had your chance to play the game, but it's still a nice addition to the Switch library. First time on a Nintendo console, at least. Fire Emblem Warriors. It's a Warriors game, both in good and bad. If you like that sort of thing, then this is, of course, more of the same, and looks great and sounds great. I think I prefer Hyrule Warriors, which is also coming to the Switch later on. Has Been Heroes. This roguelike light RPG action from Frozen Byte. Go Finland, and yeah, just a nice game to have a physical edition of. Usually these type of games have just been download games, but yeah, nice to have a physical edition. And then we of course get to the good stuff here. I can't fit it under the screen. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and here I have the limited edition. This is my favorite game on the system, better than Super Mario Odyssey, and it's just a huge feat of strength from Nintendo, basically as their first open world game. And they just knocked it out of the park. The game is beautiful, enchanting, addicting, very well crafted. It's very hard to find faults with the game that actually, you know, hinder your enjoyment of the game. An essential purchase. And if you don't have the Switch, you can still play it on the Wii U, but of course it's technically better on this console. And it's the best game of not just on the Switch, but the best game last year altogether. And then we have Lego City Undercover, another Wii U port. This was a Wii U exclusive. They also ported it to the PS4 and Xbox One, and that's fine, because this is the best Lego game that has ever been made. And I'll just say that you will enjoy the game even if you think that you don't like Lego games. Give the game a chance. It's basically Grand Theft Auto for kids, but you can still, even though you are not a kid, you can still enjoy the game. It's just really good fun, lots of collectibles, and a nice world to roam around in. Just have a good time. Really good stuff. Then another Wii U port, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Not really much to say about the game other than it's an essential purchase. It was essential on the Wii U, and it's essential here on the Switch as well, especially if you didn't own the Wii U. So do yourself a favor, get the game. And I guess the main feature here is that they finally fixed the battle mode, the balloon mode. Other than that, it's just the best single-player Mario Kart ever. I really love it. And then another game that I can't fit here. How do I do this? Bit like this. So Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. And I got here the collector's edition. Oh, this works better. Collector's edition, which includes a Mario Rabbid. And yeah, this was quite a surprise announcement. A Mario game that Ubisoft is making, and not a traditional Mario game at all. It's basically XCOM in the Mushroom Kingdom, and it works great. It's I guess it could have a little bit more depth to it, but it's really fun. You know, you get all the important stuff here, like the weapons that you can find new ones and make the old ones better, and you got your skill trees, and you allocate your skill points to it, and it's just good stuff. And yeah, really tense and really tactical turn-based strategy game. And I would say that this is in my top 3 games on the Switch. And if Zelda was number 1 and Mario plus Rabbids is number 3, I guess you can figure out what's number 2. But before we get to that, we got Pokken Tournament DX, another Wii U port. Then Puyo Tetris. I do have this as a Japanese release on the Wii U, but it's nice to have it here out in the West as well. And a really well-suited game for the Switch, for multiplayer mayhem. And yeah, I gotta be honest, I love Tetris a lot more than I like Puyo. Tetris is it's in my opinion, it's very close to a perfect video game. I read somewhere that if you change anything about the game, the how wide the well is, you take or add any 1 pixel to any of the blocks, then the blocks themselves don't mix as well as they should. And if you do any kind of changes, it's not as good, and I can believe that. Whereas Puyo, it's more like mayhem, but I know I just suck at it. I know it's a good game, and a really interesting concept of mixing and mashing these 2 games together. Really cheesy cutscenes. Cinemora EX, a 2D shooter. These days it's really rare that you get a physical edition of a game like this, so really happy to support the game. And it has a little bit of a gimmick with slowing down time, and you don't have a health bar, or you don't get destroyed. If a bullet hits you, you lose time, and you have to finish the level in the time that you're given. So little bit of a detour of the regular shoot 'em up formula. Then we have Snipper Clips Plus, Cut It Out Together. this was probably the best, or maybe still is the best downloadable game that you get for the Switch. A really nice new IP, really fun, puzzling by yourself or with a friend, and a decent party game with 4 friends coming together. And yeah, nice to have the Plus version here as a physical edition. Sonic Forces, maybe the worst game in this 22 game collection here, but it's still decent Sonic game. Just a shame it could have been a lot better. Splatoon 2. Splatoon 1 on the Wii U was a huge success that nobody predicted. It just hit all the right chords, especially in Japan, but also in the West. And Splatoon 2 is more of the same. Nice contained single-player campaign. I really enjoyed playing through that, but of course the meat of the game is in the multiplayer. Really an important game in the Switch lineup. And then Super Bomberman R. I love Bomberman, but I guess I prefer the 2D iterations just for the aesthetics themselves. I like the 2D graphics more than the slightly confusing and slightly ugly 3D graphics that they have here. But of course they have the 8-player mode. It's not as good as the 10-player mode that you have in Saturn Bomberman, but it's still a decent multiplayer Bomberman game. I just hate the cutscenes. They're way too cheesy and they don't amuse me at all. See for yourself in YouTube. But then we have Super Mario Odyssey, my second favorite game on the system. And this is the most has sold the most on the Switch, 15 million consoles, and Super Mario Odyssey has sold 9 million. So that's a huge tie ratio that many publishers would just dream of. Super Mario Odyssey is a fantastic game. I welcome the fact that they've gone to more of the exploration route after Super Mario 3D World and maybe Galaxy games as well. So this is more in the vein of Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine. But my only gripe with the game would be is that, you know, the moons, there are just too many of them, and most of them are just, you know, out in the open for you to collect. And that kind of takes away from the experience for me. I still feel that Super Mario 64 is the best 3D Mario there is. The reward is just perfect in Mario 64. But you know, Super Mario Odyssey, it's a fantastic game. It really shows that Nintendo still knows what they're doing in terms of innovation, fun, exploration, and just level design, filled with really brilliant touches in every level. Of course, this is essential if you own a Switch. Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challengers. I really love the fact that there was a new Street Fighter 2 release in 2017. You know, not a port, but a new installment in Street Fighter 2. It's great. Of course, this was there was a bit of a controversy here with the price of the game. This was too expensive, for sure. Cost $40, 40 euros, basically for a game that should have cost like 10 or 15 as a downloadable game. but still I wanted to get the game here. Love Street Fighter 2, always have, ever since Super Nintendo, and just wanted to support Capcom here, and hopefully they port more games to the Switch. And one final game I got here, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. This is the collector's edition. It's a bit of a miracle that they got the game out for the first year of the Switch. Kudos to the developers. And it's not like there is a whole ton of competition, but this is the best JRPG on the system. And yeah, that's it for the physical games, but I've always been asked what digital games I have in addition to my physical ones, so here we go. Check it out here. So in addition to the games that I just showed, I got some Neo Geo games here, Shock Troopers, Waku Waku 7, King of Fighters 98, Metal Slug 3, great game, World Heroes Perfect, and Neo Turf Masters. Neo Turf Masters is the best golf game ever, and you're gonna enjoy it even if you don't like golf games. Check it out, you won't be disappointed. The two Shovel Knight games, I Am Setsuna, Othello, Voez, really great rhythm game, and the download version of Snipper clips. So yeah, that's it. Hell of a first year. And yeah, people always ask me if I'm gonna be collecting for the Switch, like I started collecting every game on the Wii U, and the answer is no. The Wii U, of course, was a flop, and therefore didn't get that many games released for it, which is one of the main reasons that I decided to start and collect every game for it. It was doable, but the Switch is a runaway success now, and it's all but guaranteed that it's gonna get a whole lot more games released for it than the Wii U, so I'm not gonna be doing anything foolish and try to collect all of those. But yeah, that's it for my game collection for the first year of the Switch. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.